Hi everyone online. I'm Patricia. We'll do some quick introductions and then we actually have a recent graduate, Tracy, behind me. And so we'll have her talk a little bit, speak about the program a little bit, and then after that we'll go into more details about the program itself. So I'll first start with a little introduction. Welcome to our info session, Vinyasa School of Yoga. Right now we're in the studio of Vinyasa at UBC. And I'm Patricia, and you'll be seeing me in various parts of the training, here for your support, as well as a lot of the live sessions and in some of the philosophy and anatomy and pranayama. I'll be there. And I'm going to pass it on to Sarah on my left.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm the owner of Vinyasa Studio as well as Vinyasa Online and one of the lead teachers for Vinyasa School of Yoga. I'm a facilitator for the space and scheduling the space and mentoring the teachers. And one of my favorite things to contribute to the teacher training is my love of asana and sequencing, so specifically creative sequencing. So yeah, you'll see me around. And then I'll pass you to Lena.
Thank you. Okay. It's interesting. I am talking to so many screens right now, but hello. My name is Lena, and I'm the third founder of Vinyasa School of Yoga. And I'm involved equally on the back end of things and the front end of things. So I'm responsible for capturing a lot of the content for our school. And also I will be at the studio for a lot of the live sessions. I'm also just here to support you through a lot of the asana and sequencing portions of the course. And behind me here, I have Tracy, and she's one of our recent graduates from the program, and she'll do a little self-introduction and tell us a bit about herself.
Thanks, gals. With my very colorful mask here, I will try to chat through it. My name's Tracy, and I started the program as soon as they had the very first sign up. It was October 15th. We all got started by November 1st. And I did a bit of a fast track. I finished in the last month and loved the community of people. I was practicing here for a year, a little bit longer, practicing yoga for 2 years and fell in love. And like probably many of you always thought, I want to deepen my practice. Maybe I want to teach. And then they came up with this program. And I can tell you from personal experience, you can work at your own pace, but you have a community of people and leaders that will guide you. And if you want to finish in 4 or 5 months, you can. If you want to take a year, that's fine. But the practicum part was excellent. They really teach you sequencing in 3 different perspectives. So one of them will really resonate with you, or maybe all of them. And the books that you get, the coursework, the videos, I think that the content is probably greater than most programs because I researched many of them. And it's been amazing. And I think one of the key things too is each of these leaders is here to help and guide you, and also to advocate for you if you want to be a future teacher. I quickly realized in the new year that I love this. I love the Vinyasa community, and I actually wanted to teach. So I was actually given a spot to teach in the studio about a month ago, and it's been so rewarding. And so has another fellow graduate starting to teach too. So that's really huge when your teachers, your leaders actually have enough belief in you and they put the training behind you that you feel confident to be here. But I'm around, and if past this, Sarah, Lena, and Patricia can pass my name on, I'm happy to answer via text or call any questions you have. But the value is tremendous. The experience was fun. And the best thing is for a whole year, I can still jump into any coursework, classwork, or special guest videos to keep learning, because yoga really is for life. That's the thing that I've learned is my practice has just begun. I realize how little I actually know, even though I've finished way more than 200 hours of training. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little firsthand perspective of how amazing it was. And I have a full-time job. I'm super busy, but yet this brought me energy and education in a time when I needed it. So don't worry if you have a full-time job, you can still do it on your own time. I look forward to meeting you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Lena.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah.
I'll pass it back to Thank you.
And you can find Tracy regular on the schedule here at Vinyasa Studio. So definitely try to catch a class with her if you can. So before we go into later on, I'm going to share and go deeper into the actual program, and you get to see the platform and see what kind of guide you through the whole process. I'll just talk a little bit about what kind of training this is. So although our name is Vinyasa School of Yoga, we don't just specialize in Vinyasa style. So the type of training that you're going to get is a Hatha Raja yoga practice, meaning that it is really based on the 8 limbs of Patanjali's yoga practice. So there is the asana portion, which is the Hatha portion, which we will focus a lot on the asana and the sequencing. But there's also the aspect of meditation, breath work, history, philosophy, and really diving into the full practice and really working towards a very well-rounded yoga practice. And so I'm going to pass the mic off to Lena, and we're going to start to go through the course together.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is share a screen with you guys online. And for the people on the Instagram live session, I'm going to flip the camera so you can see what is on. Okay, so we're just gonna go through the entire process. And I know that there are a lot of online training schools right now, and maybe each one runs a little bit differently. So I'll give you an idea of how everything works. We're gonna take a look at a checklist we have actually of the 200-hour yoga teacher training and how it works. So if we go to the course program, the tab to the right. Yeah, how the program works right there. Awesome. And scroll down. Okay, so basically everything that you see right now is going to be available to you once you register in the program, but we're going to take a look at the step-by-step breakdown of our 200-hour YTT. So in the beginning, you're going to have to go through an application process, and there's going to be a interview process. And after we go through all of that, which is pretty standard, you'll receive a welcome package where you're going to have a PDF package full of information that's going to teach you how to get started, get integrated in the program. And then once you have the welcome package, you will have access to all of the content online. And because right now not everyone might feel comfortable with going into studio to practice yoga, majority of our content is available through filmed video, as well as written, and also our manual. So I have an example of the manual for the people who are online right now. This is what it looks like. And we'll take a look at this a little bit in detail later. You'll also have a 1-year access to our digital streaming platform called Vinyasa Online. And this is where you're going to find a lot of classes available for streaming so that you can practice from home if you're not comfortable coming into the studio. And once you're all set up with the program and you've been had 1 month to enroll in everything and kind of get your footing, you can set up a call with one of us where we're gonna just help you get connected with the other students in the program and set goals and how you want to approach the rest of your program. And but we're available at any time, so it doesn't have to be 1 month into the program. We're going to help you through the whole step of setup and getting integrated with the program and everything. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we have live sessions that are weekly, and we recommend that you attend at least 12 of them to complete your program. And as I was saying, it is an online program, but we do have weekly sessions where we're able to come in and meet each other in person just to create more of a sense of community. In those live sessions, we have a bunch of different topics that we cover. It's, I would say, mostly philosophy, anatomy, practice teaching. So those sessions where you're going to get a chance to apply everything that you've been learning in the program. And also, what's the last topic that we usually talk about? Philosophy, anatomy. Oh,
practice teaching, and usually we have a guest teacher every month. And the guest teacher can be someone who specializes in anything. For example, we've had Ailey Storin, who is really good at arm balancing, and she did a arm balancing workshop for us at one of the live sessions. And we're inviting some people who are really into yoga philosophy to come talk about some advanced yoga philosophy. So it really depends on who we're connecting with that month, but we always have someone who's outside of our training coming in to tell us things that they are very expert in. And the next item is complete content tests, worksheets, and quizzes. So because we are a accredited program, so we're registered with the International School of Yoga, we follow and exceed the recommended criteria for 200-hour yoga teacher training. This also means that a lot of the content and homework has to be assessed. So we're going to go through this a little bit later, but there's quizzes online, there's homework, there's in-person assessments that you'll need to complete. I know it sounds a little bit intimidating right now, but it's really not once you get into the program. And so getting into the second half of the program now, it says right there, set up a meeting before beginning of practicum and set up a plan and goal. So as I was saying, because we're a accredited program, eventually in order to graduate, you're going to have to teach a 60-minute yoga practice. So regardless of whether or not you're enrolling for your own deepening of your yoga knowledge, or because you want to go on to practice yoga, to teach yoga later, the practicum is something that you will need to do. And for the practicum, because we are located at the UBC studio, you actually have access to the studio space if you want to teach your friends, if you want to teach one of us, if you want to teach the public. There's what we call a teacher in training class. So this is a discounted class at the studio where you can sign up and practice your teaching skills. And that's where you're also going to be evaluated for your final practicum. And underneath it says book at least one teacher in training session, individual or group, prior to practicum evaluation. So this is exactly what I was talking about before, the teacher in training session. And it says individual or group because we understand that teaching your first yoga class can feel like a lot. You're just jumping in to teach 60 minutes. It might seem like a lot. And for the people who might benefit from doing it with a friend or teaching with 2 other people or 3 other people and splitting a 60-minute class into smaller portions where you can each jump in to teach a portion of that class, it might benefit to do that. So those are all options before you commit to teaching your practicum evaluation. And then after that, book your final practicum evaluation. After that, you complete your final take-home exam, which is an open book exam. So it's you can refer back to any of the resources that you have access to in the program. And last of all, you can apply for graduation once the practicum and your final exam are complete. We'll talk about the graduation a little bit later. And before we jump into kind of talking about the schedule of things, because we were saying it is a self-paced program, but we do recommend a certain amount of time to finish it just to keep you integrated. You have up to a year to finish the program, depending on your schedule. Maybe you need a little bit more time. Maybe you want to pause in between and take some time off before jumping back in. So Patricia is gonna talk about our 200-hour schedule. And yeah, I'll pass it on to her.
So I'll talk briefly about our schedule. If you're online, you might be able to follow. Michelle, you can see. So there's a suggested schedule. So it's running for about 16 weeks in the amount of time that we're trying to kind of set a goal for you. But of course, if you don't finish in 16 weeks, you have a year of access to this content. But we've provided a schedule that is 15 weeks. So it gives you that extra week of just in case you miss something or life happens that you don't quite stay on track fully on the way. So it's a 15-week program, and you can kind of see here that each week there is some suggested classes, and it'll cover everything that is in the curriculum. So you'll see there's a little bit of asana, anatomy, meditation, history, pranayama, and then there's practice. The practices later on we'll talk about, they're all streaming on Vinyasa online, and we'll show you that towards the end of this presentation. But you can see that it's kind of breaking everything down, and everything is very clear that for asana this week, you're going to need about 45 minutes to be able to complete this week of practice, and anatomy, maybe 10 minutes, 25 minutes for meditation, history, about 40 minutes. And it just kind of breaks it down for you so that you can start to adjust and modify as you need or fit it into your schedule. And you'll also notice as we start to proceed and go deeper into the schedule towards the end, that it starts to get a little bit shorter because there's a little bit more of practice and really starting to learn how to teach. So as you go towards week 12 and onwards, there's not as much content to cover, but it's more about starting to get that practicum started and finishing. So this is the suggested schedule that's about 15 weeks, but lots of time and lots of opportunities to really adjust as you need.
Okay. So next, are we looking at anatomy? Oh, live session, yes, okay. Yes. So we're going to take a look at or talk about the live sessions and the teacher and training schedule because since we're primarily a online school, we want to be able to give people in Vancouver the opportunity to have kind of a connection and that experience. So we have the weekly live sessions that happen on either a weekday or a weekend. The schedule kind of changes week to week, but everything is uploaded online. You'll be able to find the schedule on this calendar. And if you're online, yeah, you can all see this calendar here. It's part of our curriculum. And all of the live sessions are within the time slots. And if you click on one of them, the details of that live session will pop up. And there's also a Zoom link. If you see that at the bottom, it says join Zoom link. You can open that. And so if you're unable to attend in person at the studio, you can attend via Zoom. So usually during these live sessions, we have maybe I would say half the students online and half in studio. And we also have some students who might be from the island. We also did an interview with a student from Hong Kong a while ago. So obviously they're not going to be able to attend in person. Attending on Zoom, you can participate as well. Everything is mic'd up. So we have this mic and some headsets and stuff that we use so that you're able to hear us properly. And because of our differing schedules, we do record all of our live sessions and upload the live sessions onto our curriculum. So Patricia, you can see that she's scrolling on the left there. That is our catalog, our archive of past live sessions. If you click on one of them, it's going to be a video recording of the entire live session. So if you miss it, it's okay. You can go back and view it. But we do recommend that you do attend it live, at least 12 of them throughout your entire training. It's part of your contact hours, so you want to be able to get that time in as part of your training. And on top of the live schedule, on the same calendar, we have our teacher and training classes. So Patricia has highlighted one of those. You can see up there, it says teacher in training. It has the details, the time. It also has the person who's teaching. Right there, it says taught by Natasha. These are our current students who have signed up to teach a 1-hour class publicly. And those classes are all supervised by one of us. So it's either me, Sarah, or Patricia will be there to supervise that class. And yeah, and those classes are either their practice ones or their final practicum, final evaluation. And you're all welcome, anyone's watching right now, live or on video later, welcome to attend one of those and just see how it is. And that's it for our calendar. So all the important stuff that are scheduled are on that calendar. The next thing we're going to look at is our course hub. So we're currently in our course hub. Our course hub is the kind of like a main page for our entire course. All the important information is found here. And right now we're in the tab called the link hub. The link hub is an important little thing that you can pin. And if you click on find your links here, it takes you to a page that has all of the links that you need in order to access the important places for this program. So an online program, obviously we're going to have a lot of different websites, different resources online. So we put it all together in one place so you don't have to keep pinning different things. For example, you can see the teacher in training sign up sheet. You can see the live session teacher in training schedule. You can also book a private with a mentor. So for anyone who feels like they need a little bit more support in this program, you're welcome to do a one-on-one with one of us. It's like a little sign-up sheet. You can pick who you want to have that 1 hour session with. We also have a Vinyasa School of Yoga Facebook group. This is where you're able to see who's enrolled in the program, and you're always welcome to reach out to each other, book practice sessions with each other, hop on Zoom with one another, or even we know some people have like study groups with their little bubble. And then lastly, we have Vinyasa Online, which is the online streaming platform that we talked about in the beginning. We'll take a look at this towards the end of our info session. And next we will talk about some quizzes and assessments. So that's a pretty big part of our program since it is accredited. So we're going to take a look at one of our example quizzes in anatomy. Just to give you an idea of what our courses are like, we have 6 major courses within our program, and that's asana and sequencing, anatomy and physiology, meditation, pranayama and subtle body anatomy, business of yoga, and yoga philosophy and ethics. So right now we're in the anatomy and physiology course, and Patty has opened one of our quizzes. So this is a module 1 quiz. It's all multiple choice, and you can go in and select the answer that you have learned from that module, and it's automatically assessed. So it's not going to, you can check to see if you got it wrong. And then you can go back and try again. So this one is not like if you fail the course. We're not going to fail you because you failed a multiple choice. It's more so for you to keep track of your progress. And we also have assessments. Like if you go to one of our worksheets, maybe, there, course worksheet, mandatory. So this is a worksheet that you can download, and it's a Google Docs. I mean, not Google Docs, it's a document that you download. What happened?
I had to download it. Do you want me to open it?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look what it looks like. Oh, it's opening on there. Do you have to drag it to this screen? Okay. We're operating 2 screens. Oh, it's because that's in full screen.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, you don't need to see it. It's just a worksheet. Yeah, Michelle can see it. It's just homework. You can imagine what it looks like. So you finish this and you upload your finished homework onto a upload portal where one of us is going to mark it and return it to you with our comments, with our suggestions, and what you got wrong and what you can improve on. So everything is very interactive. And if you ever have any questions about the homework, you can always ask us at one of the live sessions or email us, and we can help you, give you some resources on how to complete it. So that's our assessments. Let's go into our asana and sequencing course to look at how that course is laid out. So I would say asana and sequencing is one of our bigger courses with more hours because you can probably guess why. There's a lot to learn with that. So we're going to take a look at
how the course is laid out. So you can see in Module 1, we jump right into foundational postures. So all of these little sub-modules really break down how the postures are done and the alignment cues and everything you need to know, the muscles and cues and things like that. So that's a very important thing to look into. And then after that, so that's the beginning. Once you have the details on each posture and the posture clinics, we're going to move into UPA, so Universal Principles of Alignment. So in the second half of the course, we kind of go into more detailed alignment and more sequencing-based things. So you can see Patricia has opened up a lecture that where I'm talking about the universal principles of alignment. So you can see it's like a video on top where you can play it, and on the bottom, it's the in-course notes. All of this information is also in your manual, but obviously the video is not in there, but like all the notes and stuff are in the manual. And all of this can be used for your homework. Yeah, so that's a UPA, the Universal Principles of Alignment lecture, just to show you what it looks like on the inside. And then moving along, even further into the course, because you have the alignment information, you have the posture information, we can begin to move into sequencing. So as you can see, Module 5 there is creative sequencing. We have invited a bunch of different teachers to kind of hop in and guest teach this section because so many teachers have different styles of teaching, so many ways of sequencing, so many methods of sequencing. So you can see here, this is Ailey Storian, one of the amazing teachers we invited to talk about sequencing. She leads you through how to teach to a peak pose, how to teach to a theme, how to teach based on a certain part of your body. And then at the end here, she leads you through one of her very classic classes, her Vinyasa flow classes. And then on the left, you can see we've had other guest teachers. We've had Risto. It says Patricia is a guest teacher as well, but she's not really. She talks about her own method of sequencing as well. Yeah, so there's just, as you can see, our course is a little bit interesting in that we don't really stick with one style. You get all sorts of different styles and get a taste of everything, and you kind of get to play with what works for you. So one thing that we've noticed as we have been attending our own students' practicum classes is that they have already found their own style, which is really cool to see because they've been exposed to so many different teachers and different teachings that they're able to integrate what they like into their own teaching. Moving along, the last little mini module of our asana sequencing course is your at-home practice. And this practice here is a master class that is taught by Patricia. It's a little longer, it's 70 minutes long. And this is one of my favorite practices that we did. I'm one of the people in the video. And this is something that you can get to do when you finish your entire asana sequencing course. And moving along. Okay. We're going to take a look at the Vinyasa online streaming platform. And Sarah is going to tell you a little bit about this.
I'm coming. Yeah, sure. Sorry, Kathy. Okay, yeah, so we're looking at Vinyasa online. So this is a digital platform, and it's always running, and normally it's a paid subscription basis. But if you do enroll and you're in the teacher training, then you have 1 year access to this online platform. Which is really convenient because it's offering all different styles of yoga, all different styles of teachers. You can see myself on there, you can see Lena, you can see Patricia, as well as many, many other teachers. So a lot of diversity to explore, and within that is a lot of the styles of classes that we offer at the Vinyasa studio in person as well. So our flows, our power, even our hip hop, our yoga strong, chill, which is more restorative, more focus on meditation, and the newer category there is breakdown. So it's more of a breakdown of certain postures or arm balances, more of a workshop approach to that. And we're always building on this platform, so there's always more and more content becoming readily available to you. And I'm just thinking as I'm talking about this, it is a really great thing to use. But some people prefer to come in studio, like I'm thinking of Michelle. We have Michelle here, and I see her, you know, at least like every time I teach, she's in here for sure every day. So that's amazing, you know, if you're comfortable and if you can make it into the studio for an in-person practice, then that's also available to you as well. However, the online access is complimentary, where the in-studio would be just our regular memberships, with the exception of the teacher in training classes. Yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about that.
Okay, so our last topic here is practicum and graduation. And it's really a good time to talk about it because we actually have a group of people graduating next Sunday, which is super exciting. We have like 7 or 8 graduates next week. So for the practicum and graduation, we talked about how you would have to complete a 60-minute teaching practicum. And so it's actually a 2-part practicum. There is a teaching portion and also a self-development, like self-growth portion, where you commit to maybe open up the prepare for graduation tab right there, and then we can take a look at this stuff. Okay, perfect. So you see the numbers on the left there? These are all the items you would need to have completed before your graduation application. So you have to have completed all your courses and content, including the quizzes, completed the practicum evaluation, have completed your take-home final exam, and completed the practicum part 2, committing to one of the following. So this is what I'm talking about, the self-development portion of the practicum. So you are committing 30 days to one of the following things as sort of like a commitment to the self in bettering yourself. I know Patricia can better speak to this. She's the one who designed this portion, so I'll pass it to her after I'm done here. And then after you've done this, this is where you can apply to graduation. And the graduation is a little fun half-day activity where the graduates get together and we lead a 90-minute practice with a sound bath, yoga nidra and sound bath. And then we do activity. I know this time we're going to make some mallet bracelets. Yeah, so whatever activity we have planned, we'll do it together and have a dinner together to celebrate, distanced, of course, at this time. Graduation happens every 4 months, and this is because our enrollment happens every 4 months. It kind of runs like a regular school. So every May, September, January, we have a group of students enrolling, and then we have the suggested 4 months to complete, so 16-week schedule. If you need longer, you're always welcome to push it off and graduate with the subsequent group of people. And then obviously you have a year up to a year to graduate. And yeah, I'll let Patricia talk a little bit about the part 2.
So I'll just talk super brief about it and then open up to questions for everybody. So the second part of the practicum is self-development, because it's really about developing your personal practice, and it's really about keeping yourself accountable. So it's not so much that we're going to check you. It's really about you committing to something that's important for you, which is why we've made it optional to do one of the 6, but you're always welcome to do all 6 if you wanted to. But it's really for you to customize your training to what you really need it to be at that moment. So for example, there's journaling. So for you, if it's about reflection and looking in, 30 days of journaling might be what you decide. 30 days of ahimsa practice is either you can choose the most simple way is maybe a vegetarian or a vegan diet. But if it's not possible, then it's about looking into your life and seeing if there's something that you can eliminate that is not serving you. And that's the 30 days of ahimsa practice. And then there's asana practice, 30 days of breath work or 30 days of concentration and meditation. And there's suggested activities or exercises that you can do for those 30 days so you're not alone. It's really just also to begin to deepen your own practice and to connect with your community during this time. And so that's about everything about part 2 of your practicum. And I open up to any questions before we close. So feel free to send in your questions if you have any questions. Yes, yes, Chris, if you'd like to unmute. And Michelle, yes.
Is there anything that is coming up for you? That's anything about the program or schedule or live or in person or? Yeah.
Also, to show you guys online what the manual kind of looks like. So these are available at the studio, and we will print off these as we update it, because we're always going through and updating our information in these. We're constantly improving our content, so this is always changing. And this is what it looks like, and it's like 165 pages, I believe. Has all the information that you need to learn about.
I'm just putting it close to
About yoga teacher training. And everything you see in the courses online, you can find it in here too. So this is a really good supplement to have. You can take notes in it and everything.
I guess we can also say that if you do have any questions later on, you can always send us an email. We have hello@vinyasa.school. You can also find that on our website, which is vinyasa.school. And pretty easy to find. And you can look at, I guess it would be the website cover of the outside of what we looked deeper into today. So yeah, we're happy to help, and any questions, let us know. And yeah, the official start date, I don't know if we actually mentioned that, but
I don't think we mentioned
the official start date is May 1st. So we're leading up to it, but even if you wanted to sign up and enroll now, you could have kind of an early start, like a kickstart, where you could get a head start on reviewing the content and even reviewing the quote unquote old lectures, because as we move forward into the May 1st and the course bundles going forward, all of that content's going to be brand new again. So it'll be wiped clean and then start fresh. So it might be kind of cool to review the older ones and then also have the opportunity to have the newly uploaded ones. So that is an option.
Yeah. If you do that, don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information, but don't worry.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining. Thanks, Chris. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Nice to meet you.
Bye, everyone.